What's up guys, Jivan back with another video and welcome to the new season of Fortnite, Season 3, the Vibin season. I'm still shook that they named the season after me, Vibin Jivan. Clearly I was the inspiration. Today we are going to unpack the new season, talk about what is the new meta. For example, what are the best loadouts, what are the new movement metas. We're just going to digest everything that's new. If you guys haven't bought the battle pass yet, please consider using code JivanTV or at least double check and make sure you got somebody's code in because it helps us out a ton. Now without further ado, let's hop into it. We're going to start out by talking about the new locations on the map. First off, the coolest one of all, Reality Falls. How dope is that name, bro? Reality Falls. And it doesn't just have a cool name. The spot is also really good competitively. Things to know about this location is there's a huge tree, and on top of that tree, there's some loot and chests. But that's not what makes this tree special in my opinion. The cool thing about it is that you can glider redeploy out the top of it and fly the zone. So if you land on that side of the map, you already know there's going to be a ton of people rotating to that tree to rotate to the zone. It is definitely going to be a poppin' spot. All around this area, there's a bunch of mushrooms, and these little mushrooms here that look like this, you can bounce off of, and it gives you a little boost. Someone's pushing you, you bounce off one of those, build walls, catch yourself on a floor, free high ground. On a similar note, there's a lot of geysers around this side of the map. It is a good way to move around that side of the map and hit all the locations around there. So if you want to start landing on that side of the map, I would definitely recommend learning where those geysers are. Another cool thing about this side of the map, the list just keeps going on. There's a waterfall here, and you can go through the waterfall to unlock a whole nother section of the POI. There's a bunch of chests under there, and there's a path out the back so you can escape. Definitely good to know. Lastly, there's lots of outskirt spots around here that are honestly pretty good loot paths. I know for sure in solos there's going to be a lot of people basing their loot paths around that side of the map because there's a lot of rotates around this side of the map, including the big old tree. The other big new location is Rave Cave. Honestly, it's pretty dang similar to the cavern, but it's a lot more of a poppin' location, like literally. I'm not talking about like players wise, cavern was always poppin', but dude, the music playing there, vibes. Nah, but that's still gonna be a crazy location. If you're landing over there, make sure you're making use of the slurp barrels. There's enough slurp barrels to get you to 100 shield like 20 times over. And then there's tons of loot over there, so definitely a fire spot. The biggest thing to note there is that there's a huge roller coaster thing going all around it, and you can drive ballers on those roller coasters, as you've probably seen. That's like the biggest thing about this update that people have been talking about. The ballers have returned, except they are not in competitive, which is really sad because honestly, I know a lot of pros didn't like when the ballers were in the game, but dude, I thought it was so fun. I was really hoping they would bring it back. But hey, there's lots of other cool stuff that we're gonna be talking about, so it's a-okay. There's a few other map changes, but I'm not gonna go into too much detail because there's nothing too crazy about them. First off, that collider spot is back to being a lake, but there's a lot more loot there. It's still a really good landing spot. There's like 1 million coolers, so you can get so many splashes. Where the fortress used to be, there is now a little outskirt location. It's called Drill Hill. Nothing crazy, but it could be a good solo landing spot. And Greasy got a major update. It's low-key destroyed, but it's still a POI and it's still a good spot. When I was landing there earlier, there were so many people there I could not handle it. Also, like, there's this new glitch where if you open a chest, sometimes it doesn't even give you a gun, and that happened to me twice at Greasy. I was low-key about to cry. And then lastly, Tilted Towers is actually being rebuilt. Right now, if you're watching this video when it came out, if you go to Tilted, I just whacked my mic, bro. If you go to Tilted, you will see that the clock tower is under construction, so that makes it seem like Tilted is getting rebuilt. Is it going to be rebuilt to be even better than before, or is it just getting back to the normal state? We'll find out soon. Now that's all good and dandy, we learned about the new locations, but what about the new guns in the game? The 3 new guns are 1, the Hammer AR. This thing, when you initially use it, is buns, absolute cheeks. But I started thinking about it, and I feel like this gun could be used in competitive. Let's say you want to carry 3 heals and you need an AR to get surge tags. You can carry the Hammer AR because it also has a spray function and can be used up close. So it can work as a surge tagger and an SMG. Just a little thought. I don't know if it's actually going to be worth carrying. We'll see. The other new gun is the 2-shot shotgun. Also, I find this gun to be buns. It's kind of similar to the drum shotgun, but it only shoots 2 shots at a time. If you're trying to take peek shots with this gun, it is not going to go very well. You gotta shove this gun into the face of the enemy, otherwise it's not gonna do anything. And even if you shove it in their face, you can't kill them in the 2 shots, so you'd still have to swap to your SMG. All in all, I just don't find this gun to be that useful. But hey, we're in the competitive preseason, so these guns may get buffs in the future. The last new gun is the Marksman AR. This is a brand new class of guns. That's what they said on their website, so I'm assuming that they're gonna add more guns like this. But this specific gun is very difficult to use. For one, it has bullet drop like a sniper, and the damage only does like 50 body, 80 headshot. And it has crazy recoil. It is tough to use. I was trying to shoot this person while they were AFK standing still, and I was low-key struggling. Do what you will with that information. Now what I'm hype about is the unvaulted guns and items. First off, drum shotgun is vaulted. Thank God, let's go. That was my biggest wish. Sadly, the combat SMG and Stinger SMG is still in the game, but at least we got rid of that drum shotgun, am I right? The other big thing that got vaulted that is kind of surprising is launch pads. But fear not, we have a lot of other movement in the game. For example, we got shockwaves unvaulted and rift to goes are unvaulted. So we're gonna just have to switch up our rotational strategies this season. We got this. Another thing is the cannons around the map got vaulted, so you can't use those for your mid-game rotates anymore. One more thing that surprised me is I actually got a heavy sniper in arena. I don't know if this is like a super rare thing, but I fished it out of the water and got a heavy snipe. I haven't found any in any chests, so it may just be a super rare thing out of water. I don't know. There's a couple other guns that got vaulted, I'm pretty sure. I haven't seen them yet. The thermal AR and the sniper. I haven't seen those two yet. Let me know if I'm wrong. It's all good. Nobody uses those guns in arena anyway, you know what I mean? Now let's do a little ranking real quick. For shotguns, I would still rank the pump at the very top. For SMGs, I would rank the combat SMG at the very top. And for ARs, the burst at the top. When it comes to that marksman AR, I honestly don't even carry it. The absolute best loadouts for competitive are going to be pump, combat SMG, shockwaves or rift to goes, don't matter, and then 2 sets of heals, ideally minis and splashes. Or if you can't find any rift to goes or shockwaves, then you would either carry a 3rd set of heal or an AR, a burst AR. That is my personal recommendation at this point in the season, but once guns get buffed, it might switch up a little bit, but I got a feeling I'm gonna be rocking this the whole season. The only time I might carry an AR over an SMG is if I'm in an absolute stacked game and I need surge. In that situation, I'll carry pump AR and then pick up an SMG later in the endgame. Now what about mid-game movement? What are all the movement techniques around the map? So 1, we got the geysers. 2, we have that big tree at Reality Falls. We've got the slipstream, which I don't even think I mentioned. It is all around where Cavern used to be, the Rave Cave. And then IO cars got unvaulted in competitive. So far, I've only seen them at Tilted Towers. Maybe they are somewhere else around the map. You'll have to let me know. I've been looking around for them, but I've only seen them at Tilted so far. And then, like I said, we have the Rift to Goes and Shockwaves. So there's a lot of movement around the map. The majority of it is in the west side of the map, over by Reality Falls. Now, there's a couple other things that are in the game now, but they're not in competitive mode. For example, there's these things called reality seeds. You can plant those around the map, and over time, they will gradually grow loot on them. And as the plant grows, it gets rarer loot. On their website, it says it grows from match to match, and it gets all the way up to mythic loot, which is crazy. Obviously, that can't be in competitive, but it's a pretty cool feature for pubs. And then you can now ride on animals and shoot guns while you're riding on the animals, which is dope. And then there's llamas in pubs, but not in competitive. The llamas now drop chug cannons. I kind of wish they were in competitive, but it is what it is. They had to take it out because of cheaters or something. And then the last thing in pubs is that there's tons of cars still. They took them out of competitive because it makes the servers lag when it's a really stacked lobby, but it's still in pubs. For the last part of this video, I want to talk about the Compete tab. They put tournaments in the Compete tab on day 1, which surprised the crap out of me. We literally have our first Lightning Cup tomorrow, the 2nd day of the season. That's crazy. And apparently now in the Lightning Cups, there's actually 2 rounds. If you do well in the first round, you can make a final set lobby. There's also Super Hype Cups, which is a new thing. You can qualify to the finals of the Super Hype Cups and you earn more hype than you normally would in a regular Hype Cup. So it's a 2-round competition, which I think is really cool. Another fun thing they added is Quick Trio Cash Cups. This is an opportunity to play trios for money once again. Only the top 3 get paid out, but hey, it's a quick, fun little tournament with a little money on the line. Who can complain about that, right? And then there's officially a Trio 0 Build Cash Cup, the first 0 build competition with cash on the Compete tab ever. Sick. And then we have the Duo and Solo Cash Cups, and these for the NAE servers actually got a little bit of a bumped prize pool. For the Duo Cash Cup, now the top 30 get paid out instead of the top 25, and in the Solo Cash Cup, the top 40 instead of the top 35. Nothing crazy, but hey, we'll take what we can get, right? So honestly, lots of awesome stuff in this update. I can't complain, except I'm going to. The one thing that I'm still waiting on, and it's probably gonna come later, I hope, what happened to the daily cups they promised? Regardless, there's tons of new stuff that I'm so pumped to grind out this season. I'll have more tutorials coming soon, and I'll try to host some scrims in between all these like lightning cups that are going on. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, follow if you're new. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.